going on in Amino? Leo, what's
Okay.
going on in Amino? What's happening? Explain to us.
I don't know. I haven't been on Amino for almost a year. Mm-hmm. Because all the hate. I mean, honestly, no, but it honestly drove me to a very devastating thing.
You fucking goggles.
Ever since I joined the Sonic Amino, everybody always wanted me to be in character, so they were always like telling me, "Hey, say this in your Boom Sonic voice, and say this in your voice." You know, like, "Hooba dooba, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do. I'll sing, I'll dance, I'll balance a banana on the tip of my nose or something." I don't know. I was just a joke to everyone. It's just everyone always asks me, and they never really cared about who I was as a person. They just thought of me as a character. So I was always constantly in character, even if I didn't want to be. So you'd be like, "Hey, Sonic, what about this?" And I'd be like, "Please don't, please."
I mean, I don't really do much voice. I do impressions, but I don't voice act for things, but I'm good at doing impressions. I'm working to be a teacher anyway, so
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
ever since day one, they always piled so much shit on me. They're like, they want me to say this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, say sexual stuff to this girl because it'll be funny in your Sonic voice." And I'm easily manipulated by women and by, well,
Is that why people
peer
think you're a
pressure.
pedo?
Well, I'm easily manipulated by women and by peer pressure. And so I would say whatever people wanted me to say because it would make them laugh. I'm like, well, if they laugh, then I guess it's good. But I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't even know about sex until I got into Amino.
Aren't you like 20 something though?
Like,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Yeah,
actually.
How'd you not know about sex?
I was homeschooled by like Southern Baptist Christian family. They didn't want me to learn about sex.
What do you mean? The Christians do talk about sex.
They do talk about
family. On my family, they avoid it like the plague.
My mum's like people that complain about it. Or something.
Nobody ever told me that they were uncomfortable about me doing that stuff because they always egged me on more and more and more, and it annoyed me.
What do you know?
I mean, I knew about infatuation and affection, and there's people who actually took that and they used it against me. Thus, manipulatives. Like that. I was telling Milsey here about a 12-year-old Amy voice actress that lied to everyone on Sonic Amino saying she was 23.
Oh yeah, I know who
she had like a really old sounding voice too. She even had a fucking fake ID. Like, this girl was good. And I literally was in love with her because she told me she was a teacher and that all her students loved her and she had a caring heart, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be with this girl for the rest of my life.
I'm a teacher. I can relate, yeah.
But yeah, so she told me all this stuff and we were falling for each other IRL, not in roleplay. And then one of her friends literally had to DM me saying, hey, you need to pump the brake because she's 12. And I'm like, wait, what? She was like, yeah, she may say she's in her 20s, but I like you, you're a good person, and you don't deserve this, so she's 12. So I called her out on her bullshit. She fucking started pouring fucking tears, thinking that I was, like, assaulting her with such ludicrous questions. And eventually, she broke down and said, yes, I am 12. And I lied to you. And then as soon as that happened, we broke up. Straight up. We just split.
How long did
It was no more than like maybe 2 months. It was like 2 months I got dragged on for this whole thing. We started as a roleplay couple.
You dated her for 2 months?
Well, we started as a roleplay couple just for shits and giggles. Then she started saying that she had feelings for me IRL, and we started falling for each other. And then her friends literally had to DM me and tell me, whoa, don't do that. She's bad news.
Okay.
You know, she's way below the legal limit.
Uh-huh.
So when was this? Was this when you were First, let
This
me
was like
know.
2 years. This was like 2 years ago. Um, y- um, Actually, Millsy was part of the project that she was in. She was like the leader of
Yeah,
this
I
thing called
remember.
Sonic's
It was
Wacky
2 years ago,
Adventures.
like August. It was like 2 years
Yep.
ago in August. Yeah.
Oh.
I actually got Millsy in as Rouge, and we were doing all this stuff. And then ever since that happened, things got really weird between me and the rest of the voice actors.
What happened?
I
Oh
left because of my I left because my exams were
well,
shit. Then I
to
started
put it
college. I
plainly,
don't have
I
time.
quote unquote broke her heart because I broke up with her and I broke her heart and she would never love again and stuff, and her friends started treating me kind of badly. Eventually, we kind of buried the hatchet, and now she's telling everyone the truth of her real age. So that happened, and then another thing happened where there was this other Gracie, Jason's quote unquote girlfriend that he had for a while. Gracie DM'd me and she was like, I like your voice and I think you're kind of hot and stuff. And then I was like, whoa, okay. And then I found out from somebody else that she was 16, and I told her, this ain't gonna work because you see, I'm 23, you're 16. And she's like, whoa, you're 23? I'm like, yeah, so how about we pump the brakes on this really quick because this is embarrassing. Pretty sure for you and for me. And we just remained as friends ever since then. Yeah, if I was a pedophile, I'm pretty sure I would have done a lot different than I did. So when she was trying to get on a bounce back from Jason, she came after me. Because, oh my god, you sound like Sonic and you act like him and blah dee blah blah blah. And then I quickly shattered her reality by telling her the truth.
Yeah.
And we just kind of became awkward friends after that.
Shit.
Yeah. Thing. Yeah, so those are two instances when I could have actually been like an actual pedophile and not told them anything and just gone with shit. But I'm not that way. I really ain't. And
Yeah.
I can tell you guys this in confidence, but here's the thing. I actually did more or less fall in love with a 16-year-old. And here's the thing. I was afraid I was going to get in trouble because she was under the age, but she always assured me that it was fine. Why? Because she was quote unquote emancipated. So she had the same legal, basically the same legality as say a 18-year-old or someone of legal age. She even fucking flexed in front of me and told me she was dating a 26-year-old. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm 24, so that's not really that much of a difference.
Hmm.
But here's the thing. I always felt uncomfortable about her flirting with me and acting all sexual around me and stuff, and us acting sexual around each other. Kind of like, even though we were in character, I felt uncomfortable because she was so young. But she always assured me, oh, don't worry. I'm emancipated. Everything is fine. You don't have to worry. It's legal. And I was like, if you're sure about this, because I also know
Well, I
that
don't get.
I also know that according to rules, erotic roleplay is actually legal as long as the user is of age of consent, which is 16.
Mino?
And if they give of consent, no, I mean in everything, in the whole government, whole thing. Sexual roleplay is only legal as long as one, it is not IRL. Two, as long as the person is of legal consent, aka 16. And three, as long as the person of legal age is willing to give consent to such act. She was we were doing a role play, me and her, and I was kind of
Mhm.
drunk because I'm a bit of an alcoholic when I'm really depressed and shit, and it was December, so I was really depressed because my family treats me like shit. So I drank my troubles away and I went to go contact her and we did like some Sonic Amy sexual roleplay stuff. Of course with her consent and stuff, but she said that I was getting too much and stuff and I ended up passing out in the call. Next thing I realized, she ran away and she started spreading all this stuff about me taking advantage of her and being like I was gonna rape her or something. at a convention we were going to go to. And I was not intending on doing that.
It was, what convention was it? Was it MomoCon?
Something called MomoCon.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask a question? If she's younger than you, why would you meet up with her?
Well, we were going to all go to the convention together. Me, her, Donkey Dude, and several other people too.
I don't like this is me now as a 17-year-old. I wouldn't meet up with a guy older than me, like that I didn't know online.
I mean, to be honest, the whole thing sounds really dicey to me.
Yeah.
And supposedly, she said that I was gonna rape her at the convention, and that's why she didn't leave. Even though I just wanted to see her, and I said, I want to give you a hug because you seem like someone who would just love to, have a nice hug from a good friend. And I hugged all the rest of my other friends too because I'm a hugger kind of guy. But she went and freaked out about me trying to rape her or something while we were there, and I was like,
oh wow.
She kind of smeared my name all over for all my friends. She screamed rape,
well,
everybody listened, and rumors started growing about me taking advantage of her and stuff. And I was like, okay. But yeah, so there's all these rumors and they're stacking up against me and I just want them to go away. They're ruining my chances. I have a chance to make a lot of good money. I'm in like a couple fan games, some animations. I'm working with this really awesome Sonic plush tuber named Mr. Gojira 95 now. I'm working with Greg, and Greg is getting me in touch with all kinds of really incredible people. And these rumors are just ruining my image.
So, you care about the popularity of what comes of being a voice actor, than just clearing them up for
No, it's not.
the sake of
It's
it.
not that. It's not about that. It's about the principle. It's about the morality. For people to judge me thinking I'm an immoral being is just detestable. I don't want to be seen as that. I want to be seen as inspirational, motivational, somebody that inspires people to want to do what I do. I don't want to come off as anything other than that. I don't want my legacy to be seeing me as a monster, of which I'm not.
Well,
Well, homeschool, and only 1 year of high school technically. It's really hard to even talk about. I mean, to be honest, my family didn't even teach me really to swim. Here's the thing, I'm not trying to avoid the whole. I know that what I did is wrong now, especially since like the whole time everyone's like being, say this, do that, say this because it's funny to hear you swear in Sonic's voice. It's funny to hear you flirt with people in Sonic's voice. Nobody ever really cared about me as a person. They just wanted to use me as a voice, and it sucked. And that's one of the reasons why I also left Amino. Because all I did was get manipulated into saying things I didn't want to say. I mean, I do kind of take control of role plays and stuff whenever I'm trying to do certain things, but I don't always try to come off as, this weird sexual deviant. I just repeat whatever I was told.
See, that's the thing that bothers me, because you clearly are a child. You're not going to repeat something people tell you. You have...
I do, though.
If...
Well, because everyone told me that there's nothing wrong with trying to be as a character and trying to make people laugh. And the thing is, I always told people, you know, if I say anything that's off-putting or whatnot, please let me know. Because I actually found out that one of the first people I ever got told to say something sexual in a sonic voice, they got so hurt they left the amino. And then they came back and I found out that they were really hurt and I was like, oh my god. Well, I mean, yeah, I reached out to her and this was like a couple months before I left. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a change. I'm not doing this stuff anymore. I'm just gonna try to relax and be myself. And then I met Naomi. Oh boy, she was really into me, but at the same time not, because she kept on telling me she has a boyfriend, she's thinking about breaking up with him and stuff, and I'm like, oh god, she really messed me up.
Well, I don't think it was her that messed you up, because
What do you mean?
You really went to
How she messed you up?
a sudden relationship with a 16-year-old.
I mean, here's the thing. I always felt wrong about it, but she always assured me, kept on always putting all of these insecurities and doubts at ease by saying, oh, don't worry, I've dated a 26-year-old. It's completely fine. I'm emancipated. I'm legal. I'm blah-de-de-blah. She said whatever she could to make me feel fine. And honestly, it worked. It kind of manipulated me. She told me she was 16, and she was 16. And I was like, okay. And she said, but I'm dating a 26-year-old, so don't try anything. I was like, okay. And she's like, my 26-year-old boyfriend is not really making me feel loved anymore. So I started, you know, doing role plays with her as in character. We never did anything IRL. That would be creepy as fuck. But I knew the rules that, you know, you can do sexual role plays as long as the person is 16, which is the age of consent, as long as they consent to it, so that they understand what they're getting into. And I just went with it. And then she started saying that she started feeling feelings for me and stuff. And I was like, oh. And, here's the thing. I can be easily manipulated. A lot of my friends know this to be true because of how many times I've been hurt by women.
So, did you have an attraction for her?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Kinda.
But
I was willing to wait until she was 18.
See, that's the thing that kind of boggles my mind. You're, what, around 9 years older than her? Don't you think that's a little weird?
Well, she was 16, I was 24.
That's around 7 years.
Yeah, 7 to 8 years older. I did find it odd, especially when she told me she was dating a 26-year-old, and I was like thinking, in my mind, well, I'm not that much younger than 26.
But still, that's still a child, though.
I know. And I was willing to wait till 18 for me to do anything with her. We were talking about it and stuff, and, I realized that I messed up. And she blew the whistle and called me a possible sexual deviant, a pedophile, a possible rapist. And it ruined my career a lot.
The one big thing that you let it happen, you don't seem to really take action on stuff, you seem to just dwell in it.
Well, what do you mean?
When everything came out about you never really made a big effort to explain yourself. You kind of just left the area. You kind of just went lied low.
I mean, this all happened before. I mean, I left the amino because of all the hate I was getting because of what happened with Amy Kurose, who got me banned. I mean, here's
that
the
makes
thing.
It worse. That makes it worse, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was easily impressionable. People would tell me to say things, I would say it. Why? Because it's funny to them and to everyone around them. I didn't once think about how this was affecting me. I was just trying to play the part of an entertainer, and I ended up as the fool.
And Sugar Plum was obviously uncomfortable. She kept muting herself. So what about that moment? It was There's like plenty of times where you do and say these weird, crass things, imply such weird, like a weird sexual mannerism for some reason, when no one's in the chat and it's just you and somebody else.
Well, me and her would flirt like that, kind of, a bit, more or less. Also, I never really intended to make her uncomfortable. I still kind of do talk to her, though. So she's actually not that uncomfortable with me, but...
She has a boyfriend.
She's always a friend of mine, but that's the thing.
Yeah, but who said that to a friend, though? I don't tell Lily, you're looking really sexy. That's not something I'd say as a friend.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. I was never meaning it as, like, a real thing. It was just always in character.
But then again, look, you're one-on-one with somebody, just me as an audience. You're telling someone that. And Sugar Plum was out of here. She was bored. I love that whole conversation you did. And both of you kept muting because it was really awkward. You should know when to not just do that voice, but you kept on doing it until she left.
I actually messaged her after that happened, and I was like, "Are you okay?"
Well, do you remember what happened?
To be honest, no. A lot of times when I was with Amino, I was drunk and stupid.
You were drunk?
Actually, Me and my friends, we would make things where we would just troll people on Amino after getting drunk. It wasn't right, I can admit, but you know what? I was just depressed, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I always thought that whenever I'm on Amino, I'm not myself. I'm this character that everyone wants. This zombie boom sonic weirdo that just says Pizza Hut and all these weird crass sexual things.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of times that hasn't happened. I've seen you in chats with your friends that, not even private chats, they're open chats where you're yourself. You're not doing any voices, you're just talking.
I mean, my natural voice just sounds the way how it does. It just does.
No, I mean a natural voice. No forced anything. I know what your voice sounds like without the fucking charade, the fucking... There's a time when you were enjoying talking to your friends in the chat.
So much higher. I mean, to be honest, I was maybe a little desperate to hold on to people, because a lot of people didn't like me, because, well, I had the voice of that one character that a lot of people liked and a lot of people didn't. So I would do anything to satisfy and make everybody happy. She said that she's been hearing a lot of rumors about me and stuff, and I told her that a lot of this stuff is falsified evidence. Because, well, ever since that whole Amy Kuro scandal, people haven't been looking at me the right way.
Yeah, she told me about the conversation, and in my opinion, you looked very desperately to try to clear your name for someone. Because it's not kind of about me. I wouldn't desperately say to my friends, I would ignore it.
I just don't want to be seen as somebody who's a monster.
That's kind of a parallel in my opinion, because you kind of did disappear for a while. The thing is,
I left Amino because I didn't want to be seen as just an person to entertain, just to, like, you know, feed me random fucking weird shit to say. And I'll say it in a Sonic voice. Sure.
Wait, the thing about that is that they don't feed you. Plenty of times we're just alone. You can't say they feed you stuff like that. Because all the things I've heard, all the voice chats, no one's actually allowed to do these things.
Not then, but before, when I first joined, people wanted me to say a lot of things.
You can be the same person if you're different.
I used to roleplay as 3 different songs at a time, and it kind of gave me a bit of a odd mindset where I would go into any of those, and it'd be weird as hell. It's like Roger would be the douchebag, Jason would be the sexual one, and then Ryan would just be a nice guy. I don't know, it's a weird psychosis thing. I had to get like therapy for it.
You get see I really kind of don't believe that. I mean, you get therapy over roleplay characters. That's the only thing that's really a thing that happens.
I mean, it's I found out it's something called method acting. You get so invested in the character, you believe that you're that character, and it fucks you up. It is because I realized that I made a mistake, and I caught myself, and I shook myself out of my trance.
What trance? I guarantee you, I've seen method acting. I work with people who I used to work as a film crew assistant. I've seen people do it.
I mean, it's a weird.
You're not Heath Ledger who trapped himself in a room being the Joker. You're just a guy doing 3 voices.
Oh no, I know, but I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It was weird.
Well, yeah, you're giving a skill set. It's method acting. You're just basically saying you become those characters.
Well, I mean, if no one told me about it, and if no one told me that, okay, this is making me uncomfortable, I think I honestly would still be doing it, and that's the scary thing.
The thing, yeah, people have told you that before, and you would still after that, the day after, or the month after, you'd still do things that are similar to that. The thing is, you have a clear conscience. You just won't accept when something's bad.
You won't use it.
Well, to be honest, I've done a lot in about a year. Ever since I left Amino, I've changed a lot of things.
So that's the thing. I'm not talking about you after. I'm talking about before, what you did. I'm not talking about you right now. Because I don't know if you're the same person. You can, unless you show me statements or fucking receipts or shit of your fucking therapist in your sessions, maybe I can believe you. But you telling me that you're a changed person doesn't give me anything to work off of. You telling me why you're a changed person? Well, this can be your fucking alibi. I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, it's more important for me to try to show people rather than tell them, because, like, I learned words are kind of meaningless unless they have actions that help to back them up.
Everyone knows it's right and wrong.
Well, like I said, I didn't know it was wrong unless somebody literally told me it was. I don't know. I didn't know a lot of things, and unless someone literally told me, I would just keep doing it because it made people laugh and entertained them.
And the thing is, people have. I've seen people tell you that.
Sometimes I wouldn't, go to certain subjects around, certain people. Honestly, I don't want to make excuses. I know what I did was wrong. And I mean, I never thought about the fact that, they would warn me, and I'd only take it as a grain of salt, and then I would just keep doing it. It honestly would show that I don't really care about them. Ugh.
See, the thing is, I can't really believe your epiphany right now, because you basically acknowledge that you did know before, and you kept going with it because you supposedly didn't know. It hurt their feelings. And I mean, the thing is, the common sense thing. You're a 25-year-old man. You should know when you're doing bad things.
Try to prove my innocence.
There is a point. And the fact that you didn't take it. The thing is, your friends. I guarantee your friends told you to put your name out there, clear your name.
I don't know how they did, but I was just too afraid. It's like.
The thing is, I wouldn't be afraid. If someone did this, but Chris and Chloe added me on, I would do it. You have friends. Your friends that gave you a positive mindset to help yourself. You didn't take it.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of person wouldn't take it. That's like
someone who's scared.
Scared of what? That's the thing. How are you not scared? How are you still scared when you have your friends backing you up? If you still have the respect of your friends, you shouldn't be scared. You're not scared.
Well, now I'm actually trying to clear my name and trying to,
See, that's the thing. It's too late already.
No, it's never too late.
Well, yeah, you're about like a lot of months late. You could have did it when you had a chance. Do you think sitting quietly doing voice work and ignoring all these things is really gonna help it?
Like I said, autistic means I'm very impressionable. So all it took was like people just tell me you gotta be sexual and stuff because being sexual is cool. You gotta say all this stuff in your sonic voice, or just if you're around people, just say funny sexual stuff because it's always funny to make fun of sex. And I was like, okay. I don't know, maybe I craved the attention because, I had that stigma in my head that
why
I
did you
have
want
to be
attention?
sexual.
Would stop you being a normal human being.
And that's the wrong kind of like the thing. That's the wrong kind of attention. Like I said, that attention is bad. I don't get what do you expect to get from that attention? I don't like honestly.
I don't know. Love, affection, just everything I
That's
probably
the
never had.
thing about it.
So I just wanted it.
If you wouldn't, that's not the way you get love and affection.
Practice Christianity. You can know what that is. You know love and affection. You know the general term of it. You know it's not any of that stuff. You don't gain love and affection by being like that. You know that as a human being. That's why I can't really take what you're saying as fact, because as a 25-year-old man, you shouldn't even be doing this stuff. That's the problem I have with you.
Honest, I mean, the thing is though, when I was on Amino, I just thought that nobody would take me seriously. It's all a big joke. I could say whatever I want, and nothing would happen, as long as I didn't try to get too creepy around, like pedo areas. That's the stuff I would draw the line at. Because here's the thing, I don't like rumors spreading around about me, because honestly, it's just hurting me, and it's making me. Honestly, it's making me physically ill being called a pedophile, because I'm not. I've made mistakes in my life. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done things I'm not too proud of. I thought I was untouchable and thought I should just do whatever I want as long as I don't try to break any legal laws. But I find that everything I've done amounts to such dire consequences that it's ruining my image and it's ruining my ability to make money to escape from my godforsaken family. To be honest, I don't know what. I mean, I just ran away from problems like I normally do.
But then again, you didn't run away from problems. The problem, you referred to me one time about it. I remember, it was near, I don't remember, I gotta look it up. It was near I know the day an attempted direct was happening. You messaged me about it. So you didn't really have a problem with that. You messaged me about it, and you took action. And I told you everything, I told you everything how I felt, and how I felt. You kept saying that's what you and your friends do. And I found it disgusting that you found that was fine. And that made me more go after you. I don't think anybody should be on here who acts like that. Who gets the impression that they shouldn't do all this but still does it. And that makes no sense to me. As an 18-year-old man, as me right now, I know what's right and wrong. I know right and wrong when I was a child. That's basic.
I understand.
Well,
I mean, I'm just embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
No, that's not an embarrassment. It's a shame. You should be ashamed of what you did. And I don't think, honestly, the thing is, I don't really care who you were. You could have been anybody, and I still would have came after you. The fact that you did it, and the fact that it took you this long to really epiphanize about it, it's just telling the person how person you are. If it's not affecting your career choice, it's not affecting you. It clearly affected you when it first happened, but then you just brushed it off and kept on doing your thing. That's why I can't really feel sympathy towards you. You can tell me about your family. Trust me, I know about tough families. I have friends tough families. But again, they come out happier when they talk to people on the internet. And then again, they don't get that sadistic or weird sexual side out of them just to take it out. Maybe anger is most thing I see. They always get the anger. They yell at people. They amp themselves up because they can't yell at their parents. I have a lot of friends like that.
I understand. But yeah, I just didn't feel good about it, and I just ran away, and I just.
That's the thing. If you didn't feel good about it, then that says that says a lot of things. Because
having something thrown against you like that, it's just.
Yeah, I had friends who did that before. My friend Marvin, he literally had sexual allegations against him because of a group we're in for Super Smash Bros. Mod group, and some girl that he barely talked. He talked for a couple months and made some allegations about him. I knew he didn't do it because I know who he was. I know what kind of person he is. He opened up to me. And he had evidence. He had evidence of these things. And he had I was his friend backing him up. And you had friends backing you up. And I don't get why you didn't take that. Because I don't get why you don't care about your reputation back then than now. Because it's like you need to keep your reputation all the way up. You can come from nothing and become something.
Yeah.
So I don't get.
Yeah.
Because you can agree with me on these things. Then you basically agree with me that you're full control of these things, and the only reason you feel bad is because it's coming up on you again. And I don't get the Amy thing. It's not because you told me at first you think it was the Amy thing and the other girl. It definitely. I guess it was that in a little group. But again, a lot of people. I told a lot of people. A lot of people told them that I showed proof. I had videos because it's unacceptable. Then again, I'm not the kind of person to put stuff out of context. I will tell you straight up. I will have, for example, like chat logs or something like that. I'm not gonna give you a cropped out image or something. I'm not that kind of person, and I think people like that are fucking stupid.
Help myself to try to, should I try to join back and be Mino, show everyone that I'm not what they think I am?
That's the thing. It's already too late. You had the chance to do it the moment you did it.
How is it too late? I don't think it ever is.
Because the people who told you no, and you still did it, they're not going to believe you again. And think about it, they're not really forgiving. I wouldn't believe you if I said don't. I told you before that you should stop doing it, and you felt that you didn't have a problem with it. And that didn't make any sense because you weren't a 15, 16-year-old kid who's ignorant. You're an adult. You have to listen to people. We listen to people all the time as humans. That's what we fucking do. But that's the reason I can't forgive you, because that happened to me. You tell me that you didn't really care about it. You felt that it was fine. That you didn't really. Then now in this conversation, you say you don't really. You don't care about when it affects you, your whole relationship with voice acting. Because at the time, I don't think you really well known. Except because you told me that you started getting no after this. Then when I closed down, I have a problem with it. I don't have any advice for you because you did these things. It's kind of hard to undo them because you did these things willingly. Most people who apologize did it not rationally, but unrationally. They either didn't mean it, or if they did mean it, they didn't go as far as you. Even if they did go as far as you, this whole situation is kind of specific too. Multiple people that you probably don't remember, you can't really apologize. You can apologize to most people, and again, you won't feel satisfied. You'll feel satisfied for telling somebody, and then you'll feel satisfied by doing it because you feel like you've gained that bad light out of your name, and it just doesn't cut it.
I mean,
you did those things.
It's not just that. I want to show people that I'm not what they think I am, and whether they believe it or not.
That's the thing. It's hard to do that now because you didn't really do that before. You did it before that people we were inclined to believe it.
I know.
This whole thing was looking bad for you.
And I know about
I would love to do it, but then again, I feel like I'm fine. I know who I am. I know what my weaknesses and my strengths are, and I just don't get that. You're telling me the whole situation in the Amino just makes no sense. Because if you're admitting me that you said before that this is unfiltered you. You want it to be unfiltered you and in a way that you feel comfortable expressing yourself. And again, that whole thing, the whole sexual thing, you should know that's wrong. If you say that to people, if that's the way you want people to perceive you, then you shouldn't. If you're coming off as someone clingy and weirdly sexual, then you know you should do something about it. And the fact that you didn't, and that people told you that it made them uncomfortable, that's the thing. When you said to me that, how do I get to something? How would I do this? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't go that deep. I wouldn't ignore people. The thing is, how I would have done it is listen to the first thing what they told me to do. And at this point, it's hard to say. You have time. It's almost too late. It's been almost a year or a couple of years, and you can't go back to that message and say, "Yeah, sorry, I forgot I should do it. I should do that," because you already broke the trust. You broke my trust with what you said to me before.